Good day, everybody. Sergeant Crypto here, Crypto Team 6. Today we're here to talk about the long-term outlook on Bitcoin. But before we begin, if those of you who are new are interested in learning how to trade, please like and subscribe. Also, check us out on Facebook or our Telegram page. We're looking for people who have the ability to analyze coins and new folks who are interested in learning about trading and technical analysis. Okay, so to get started today, I want to look at the long-term effects. I'm going to do technical analysis on Bitcoin. Bitcoin, as many of you know, is the de facto standard for cryptocurrency. It's the number one cryptocurrency. It started out 2008, 2009. It began to gain acceptance. And ever since then, it's kind of been a rocket ride to the top. The past few months, we saw a new high near 20,000. Bitcoin had over 50% dominance at the time. I believe it was about 58% dominance. So let's take a look at where we are today. For those of you who need to know more about Bitcoin and how blockchain works, go to the Bitcoin website. It's full of information and can help you understand what this technology means. Okay, so let's take a look. This is CoinMarketCap. It's a place where you can go to find the value of most of these cryptocurrencies that are listed today. Today is January 22nd, 2018, and today we're looking at what appears to be a red day. What I mean by red is everything appears to be down a little bit. Everything appears to be pulling back. Last week we had a bloodbath in crypto. Everything was down, and it was down double digits, 10, 15, 20, 30% in many cases, sometimes 50%. From the highs of the beginning of the year, some of them are down 60 and 70%. So you have to wonder, what's going on in crypto today? Well, the market leader is Bitcoin by far. And I told you before, we saw originally a high of about 20,000. Right now we're at 11,400. It's still the number one crypto. Ethereum is following up. Ethereum is more of a platform as opposed to a single currency, because it can be split into many different tokens, and other tokens are created using this platform. But again, today we're looking at Bitcoin. So we're down 6% today. As you can see, we're trading a little bit sideways since our rise and steep fall. So we're trending upward a bit and then more sideways. Right now, the dominance of Bitcoin in relation to all cryptocurrencies continues to fall. It's at 34.8% of the entire market. The entire crypto market is currently valued at $551 billion. It was a little over 800 billion at its peak. So about a third of the capital has been stripped away. A third of the market cap has stripped away in about the last week. So you have to, if you're any kind of a crypto investor, you have to be a little bit concerned, and you need to start looking at the technicals. So now that we've talked about the overall breadth of the market, Bitcoin's dominance, where it is, what the market cap is, let's take a look at Bitcoin and what may happen in the future based on current trends and price. So I have here today a daily chart of Bitcoin. And this goes back almost a year. About a year ago, Bitcoin was trading for $1,000, as you can see. And for the first half of the year, it rose ever so slightly as the community in and of itself speculated. New coins came online, other technologies came into play, and we started to see, and we're still seeing, the emergence of this technology as it begins to gain market acceptance. But about July, Bitcoin started to see peaks or spikes in volume. And the spikes in volume were because of media and because just the community promoting the coin. And as you can see, we had an upward trend. And for the longest time, all you had to do was buy Bitcoin and do nothing and hold it. And at any given point, you could expect it to rise. Now, we had a few pullbacks there, but those are people that, they bought in at 1,000, they saw 5,000 and thought, man, I need to get some of this money off the table. So they pulled back a little bit, new investors came in, and we saw more volume, and we see it picking up. I'm going to put some trend lines up here so we can see where it is in its basic price. And all you do is you go to you'll see indicators on any exchange. I like to use moving averages. And if I can get them here. Okay, I like to use moving averages and know when they cross, because that gives me an idea of whether the price is going to continue to rise or fall. Anyway, okay, so now we're back to our chart. This is a daily chart. We see that for much of the time that Bitcoin was on its rise, we have two moving averages here. We have a 9-period moving average, so meaning every 9 days a line was plotted, and then a 26-day moving average. So for every 26 days a line was plotted. And for much of the time during its rapid growth, we saw Bitcoin above the moving averages. And I mean, in November, we saw a huge spike in volume. This spike in volume was because of media, was because of U.S. exchanges were beginning to allow financial institutions to have the ability to purchase. So volume really, really spiked. And what that basically meant is more money started pouring in to the market at about 5,500. And from there, it was all uphill. We saw it go up. The profit takers took their profits at about 8,000, and then it moved even higher. And it never really looked back. Got to about 17,000. A little pressure took off here. People got out, took their profits, and bang, we were right up here at 19,000. Now, that was right before the turn of the year, or right around the turn of the year. At the turn of the year, we saw a lot of sell-offs. People started taking their profits, and we actually saw the price cross the 9-day moving average and move down swiftly past the 26. There was a big divergence between the two, and it filled all of those. So all of the support that was in there was blown right out, and it blew all the way down to about $11,000. And then, of course, the people that thought they were missing out at 20,000 jumped back in. The price went back up. We saw a little bit of a resumption of the trend, and then we got a lot of volatility. The highest that we've ever seen at this point is 17,000 since the $19,000 top. And ever since then, the price has been pulling back. And I don't mean just pulling back to where, a line of support. We actually broke support. We're now below the moving averages. So if you saw the moving averages as being a good thing and it's moving above those moving averages, the inverse is now in play here, because we are now below the moving averages and continuing lower. We recently tested just above 9,000, looks like around 9,300. We're currently at 11,000. We just had a run up to 12,700 and it didn't hold, and now it's pulling back. So as a technical analyst, I have to look at this and think, where are we going to go from here? The real support here, there's not a lot of support until you get down to this 8,000, 7,000, 6,000, even the $5,000 range is where there's the most support. And we're seeing the price pull back. Now, I'm not here to create FUD. What I am here to look at is, as a person who speculates on these things, I have to protect my money. So if I were going to be in Bitcoin right now, I wouldn't be all in by any stretch. As a matter of fact, I'd probably be 30% in, 70% out. I'd be in other altcoins perhaps, or other... I like the Ethereum-based coins because there are so many of them. Ethereum continues to rise, but we're not looking at that right now. We're simply looking at Bitcoin. So what's the reality here? Could we see Bitcoin go back to 19,000? We could, and we may, because Bitcoin is a store of value. But let me tell you what is not good about Bitcoin. First of all, they did a couple of forks. That means their community is now fragmented. They did Bitcoin Cash, they did Bitcoin Gold, and now there are 2 or 3 sets of Bitcoin out there. There's the original, there's Bitcoin Cash, and Bitcoin Gold. And these are all different mining groups that are trying to gain off of the popularity of Bitcoin. The reason that they split off is because they wanted to. Right now, Bitcoin is really slow in transactions. To use it as a store of value is great. And just about every exchange lists it. Lots of companies use it, but nobody uses it to buy and sell things. And that's the problem. And the reason for that is Bitcoin mining fees are very expensive. And the expense of those, I mean, if it costs you $20 to do an exchange of Bitcoin, whether you're exchanging $5 worth of Bitcoin or $200 worth of Bitcoin, that becomes prohibitively high unless you're buying large ticket items or unless you're storing value. So as I see it, we're entering a new phase in crypto. And that is, crypto is money moves to its most highest value, and it moves to its most efficient value. And I'm watching Bitcoin just slide here ever so lightly. We just dipped below 11,000. I believe we're going to test this 9,300 again. And to me, that doesn't look like it's going to hold. It may bounce off, go up a little bit, but I'm not seeing higher highs. I'm seeing lower highs, and I'm seeing lower lows. And that is not a good signal. I mean, we had a short-term little rally here. I made some Bitcoin, but I just pulled some more off. I'm wanting to be more in cash than in Bitcoin. Like I said, I'm 30% of my trading allocation would be the most that I would even consider. And I try to tell people, when you're trading, don't put any more than 5% in. But if you're using it as a store of value, that 5% rule doesn't hold. So, anyways, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail there, but I'm seeing the price go lower. And it looks to me like we could test lows again, and we could see Bitcoin slide from its dominant first place position into a second, third, fourth, fifth, and soon not even be relevant anymore. Yes, it would be a store of value, but I don't think it would be a store of value at its highs unless something changes. And I don't see mining fees getting to be any less. The Chinese seem to be putting the kibosh on it. The cost of mining is huge on the environment and just in electricity alone. And as coins are mined, the algorithm difficulty is beginning to be higher. So Bitcoin is actually sliding in value, and you have to consider that. I'll probably go ahead and put your comments in. Tell me what you think, and I'll probably get a lot of bad comments here. People, oh, you're just spreading FUD. I'm not spreading FUD. I'm just telling you. I look at these things technically, and I'm seeing Bitcoin slide. I'm seeing market share erode. I'm seeing mining fees that are inefficient, and I don't see a lot of volume moving in. We're seeing weaker volume. That means people are not flooding in anymore. They're actually slowly moving away from Bitcoin. So I'm Sergeant Crypto here with Crypto Team 6. That's my analysis of Bitcoin. Long term, I still believe in Bitcoin, but I'm not going to put the majority of my investment into it. I will look for other opportunities. As new cryptos come out, we will look for them. They will be more efficient. They will begin to gain in market acceptance. and we just have to find them. If you want to be part of my community, please get involved. Do some analysis. Post them on our Facebook page. Let us know what you think. I can't do all of this by myself. I'm here to help. I would like help from others in the community. Please join us. Give us your analysis. I'll give you mine. Together, if we work together, if I can get hundreds and thousands and even hundreds of thousands of people analyzing at once, and we move away from the scams and we start looking for the real opportunities, it's then that we can gain our financial freedom in crypto. There are thousands of them. Please let me know when you find them. Analyze them. Tell me why you think they're solid. I want to know the fundamentals. I want to know the technicals. That's what I'm interested in, and so is the rest of Crypto Team 6. Sergeant Crypto here, Crypto Team 6. Like and subscribe. Subscribe to our Facebook page. We're going to be starting a Facebook group very soon. So I'm Sergeant Crypto, Crypto Team 6, out.